Huh? Huh, wonder what that's all about. Hey, Squall, how's it going?
It's Leon. And where did you get that?
Listen, Squall.
It's Leon.
Right, Leon, sorry. We can talk about this.
No, we can't. Hand it over.
Yeah, that's right. We're talking about Kingdom Hearts, baby! Specifically, Traverse Town. It's wacky, mysterious, a little annoying, proportioned kinda weird, and you better believe it's the best opening stage of any game ever released. And I'm willing to become a Heartless on that hill. Okay, so it's actually not the first level of Kingdom Hearts. Technically, it's not even the second. The first is that funky dream space where those weird kids ask you about what yoga pose you most identify with. And the second, and arguably actual real opening level or stage or whatever you want to call it, is Destiny Island. And you know, as far as openers go, Destiny Island is pretty great too. I mean, who doesn't like the music going while you're looking for a coconut and bonking Titus in the face with a wooden sword? Now, before you guys roast me alive in the comments saying stuff like, City Escape better, or I actually like the cart in Skyrim, you know, when it goes to black and then...
Hey, you finally awake. You trying to cross
That's
the
not
border,
even a level!
right?
What?
Right into that Imperial ambush.
Or the OGs saying, I remember this being the real best opening stage. If this one is you, friendly reminder to schedule a prostate exam. But like I was saying, let me just get ahead of all that and just say, even though it's not the opening stage, and even though, you know, no one really talks about it being the best opener to a video game, and, you know, even though there's not much action like the start of Resident Evil 4's Village or Medal of Honor's D-Day, I kind of lost my train of thought there. Alright, Traverse Town. Great level, and a great introduction to Kingdom Hearts' core elements. All that stuff before this stage was something I'd consider more a prologue, while Traverse Town is the game's first real level proper. Think about it. You can't really return to Destiny Islands, and those weird kids kinda were never really there to begin with. And while I guess technically, yes, you do return to Destiny Islands, it's pretty distorted, and only really used to fight some bosses. But you know what doesn't get distorted? That's right, Traverse Town, baby! And you don't even gotta take my word for it. Traverse Town is such an iconic and amazing first moment of a level that this series does it 4 times! Not to get too ahead of myself, I think Traverse Town not only encapsulates and sort of distills the first Kingdom Hearts theming and overall vibes and aesthetics into a single level, both in a gameplay and story kind of way, but also it does this with kind of the entire series as well. Like, I can't think of a better place to showcase what the Kingdom Hearts series is all about, except maybe Twilight Town and Kingdom Hearts 2, but as you'll see in this video, there's actually a lot of stuff that Traverse Town has that Twilight Town only wishes it did. Before this video goes off the rails any more than it already has, let's put on our smart guy glasses and tackle this topic in a succinct and ordered way. Oh my goodness, look at this place. Listen to that music. What the heck is up with this pole? This door says fire. I wonder if we can... Nice. Oh my god. Puppies? No way! This one watches TV! Final Fantasy characters? Huey, Louie, and Dewey? What? I'm so bad at this video essay thing. Okay, so that little manic episode showcased some of the neat things in this level, but let's first get into the context to really understand what makes this level so special. So for those of you who have no idea what the heck is happening and maybe haven't ever played Kingdom Hearts in your life, consider yourselves lucky. Let me very briefly explain what leads up to the moment we arrive in this sleepy little town. So basically in Kingdom Hearts we start off as Sora, a young boy who hangs out on Destiny Island with his friends Kairi and Riku, and you know, some shrunken Final Fantasy characters. But again, they are only here to make us feel existential dread at the start and then become punching bags later on. So, after having some weird dreams from the Kingdom Hearts equivalent of a person's inner backrooms, we find Sora, Kairi, and Riku in the midst of their plan to take a couple of coconuts, a singular egg, some fish, and a dangerously unseaworthy boat, and sail the 7 seas, or space, or something. KH logic doesn't really make any sense. But what's this? Something starts happening to their world, and Sora rushes to the island to see what's going on. leaving his dinner to be forever cold. As the world itself gets split by darkness and swallowed whole while Riku is being a little too edgy about it all, Kairi sheds her mortal frame and disappears, and Sora awakens a sword, except it's actually a big ol' key, to fight the globs of shadows seemingly causing this destruction. Now, this is some intense stuff. I mean, Sora and all his friends and family are mercilessly ripped from their world and basically scatter into the void for like no reason. We aren't really sure why this is all happening at this point, but this is when we get our first real taste of what this game has to offer, as we wake up in none other than the place of wayward souls, the village of journeying, and some other third descriptor, Traverse Town. So I guess the biggest question would be, why here? Like, this is a game about the fusion of Disney and Final Fantasy characters, and Traverse Town isn't really a world that is in any of those. Well, in lore, there's actually a reason why the inhabitants include people like the Final Fantasy characters, but critically not all the Final Fantasy characters, random NPCs that look suspiciously like our friend, and some Disney characters. And that's because Traverse Town is actually more like the backrooms in Kingdom Hearts. Guess I lied earlier when I said the backrooms were the prologue. See, when a world is lost for whatever reason, for the people in those worlds who didn't get caught up in the drama of, you know, the entire world just casually ending, Traverse Town acts as a sort of lighthouse for them, and those people and even parts of their worlds end up here. It's like in between your sofa cushions, but for buildings and Disney characters. And that ties into my first point about why this world is so great. It not only acts as a tutorial level in a gameplay sense, but it also acts as a sort of tutorial for Sora, too. I mean, if you just got your entire world blown up by people-sized bugs, you'd be scared and terrified, and Sora probably is as well. So it's nice to see that there's a place for people to just sort of hang out after losing everything and everyone. And sure, I mean, it's not perfect, I'd rather be home, but you know, knowing a place like this that'll take you in at your lowest, I think is pretty comforting. Kind of like a shock blanket, but the size of an entire city block. It's heartwarming, in a way. Like, hey, even if you fail spectacularly, maybe there's a Traverse Town for you. Okay, so now that we got the story of how we got here out of the way, let's talk about what makes this level so special. First of all, I mean, just listen to that music! Remember what I said about the shock blanket? Well, this music is more like a weighted blanket. It's so smooth, rich, and calming. And very rarely do you find levels with only one or two music tracks that don't get really old really fast. And just to bring home the cozy vibes it gives, here's a little taste of it with some added rain sounds. And you tell me if it doesn't just make you want to grab a cup of hot chocolate and stay in and play with some of those Dalmatians. I swear, this song just randomly pops into my head every now and again, even after all these years. And you know, I don't even mind it. It's just so good. Just like the soundtrack, the level design and layout of the town also give it some serious chops when it comes to being a banger of a first level. As I yelled about earlier, the geometry here is rather unique. It has an almost Victorian style architecture, but with some really unique twists to give it a sense of both familiarity and a bit of unease. Almost like a quaint, super packed European town that could only exist in a child's imagination. So the town is broken into a few core areas, with the most important ones being the three main districts. Now, the first district acts as a sort of safe space, sometimes, and is bathed in a very comforting orange glow from the lanterns and streetlights. However, the geometry here is kind of distorted, indicating that there's something weird going on here. And this element of cozy yet slightly weird is even apparent in the concept arts for this world. As we can see, it was always meant to be a little topsy-turvy, but still inviting and comforting. In the first district, there's some shops, a cafe, Pinocchio's house, and even this safe that you can steal from using your giant key. All these buildings are densely packed in and connect to other areas in ways that you may not expect. Actually, the entire world is almost like a puzzle too in how the world layout works. There's so many ways to get where you're going. Almost every room has multiple entrance points and almost like hidden doors. And that makes it feel like a real town that you can actually get lost in. Like, I remember fighting a huge group of enemies in the second district and being pushed into this little tiny door like 4 years after beating the game, and I never really knew this entrance was here. And all the rooms are pretty much like this. And each room feels so full of life and contains so many little details. Like, did you know if you continue down the alleyway, there's an entrance to the Dalmatians' house? Or that you can get back to the alleyway from Merlin's house by using the underground passageway, basically connecting Merlin's house to the 2nd District. The 2nd District is also home of the hotel, and this place is kooky. We got the long hallway of death, the crazy red room that's Chinese themed for some reason, and the green room adjacent to it, which is green themed. We've also got the Forbidden Fish Room. What goes on in the Forbidden Fish Room? I have to know. There's also some free brochures we can get from the permanently closed check-in desk. Also, like, there's these mysterious paintings you can interact with. One says Autumn Dusk and the other Midsummer Dawn? I wonder what those are. Wait a second. They refer to the times that the clock in the green room needs to be to get a chest to open up. Wow. This hotel also boasts the only place you can do this. Cool, right? And who could forget the Mad Hatter shop? Which, you know, now that I think about it, doesn't really make sense since we actually visit Alice in Wonderland's world in this game. Wait, does that mean the Mad Hatter has, like, licensed branded clothing stores? Is the Mad Hatter an influencer? I don't know. Anyway, this place has it all. The 3rd District is the Fight Center. A wide area with a few hidden nooks and crannies, but really it's mainly for fighting and some light puzzles. It also has the small house, which ends up being the Final Fantasy characters' I guess you could call it their headquarters, which is kind of funny. Like, guys, you can pick any other place. Why pick this broken down dump? I hope they check for asbestos before moving in. Anyway, what's really cool is that each area is connected to every other area. This design language, coupled with the lore I mentioned earlier, gives Traverse Town an air of mystery around it. And it really gives a strong impression of what the game's themes are going to be. It's mysterious, but also full of hope. And here you can buy hot dogs for $85! Huh. I guess inflation exists even in the void. Not only all of that, but each district has environmental puzzles that you can solve using magic that unlock other areas of the map. And this kind of interaction with the world is something we don't see too much of in the series going forward. It's a good intro to this concept, and the environment is full of little things you should interact with going forward. And it reminds the player to keep an eye out for anything that looks like it can be set on fire. And that's like foreshadowing in gameplay form. Speaking of introductory elements, this is where we get our intro into arguably what the whole series was marketed as. The fusion of Disney and Final Fantasy characters. And what a crazy introduction it is. From Pluto helping our spiky-haired protagonist, to Leon threatening to straight up kill a child, to Sid offering to adopt us. You got Merlin and the Cinderella Fairy, and check this out. This Moogle is walking on his legs! Where else would you see something so cursed? Awesome? I don't know, you tell me. How does this little guy walking on his feet make you feel? But Atta of the boy, I hear you say. That's neat and all, but I don't know if that should be counted as the best level ever, as you said. Well, my Keyblade wielding friend, there's actually a lot more that makes this place great. There's a ton of little details that you don't really see much of in later entries in the game, and especially stuff not present in their first levels. The scale in Huey, Dewey, and Louie's shop actually works. The postcards that you can find all over the game and actually mail encourages you to not only explore other worlds thoroughly, but also to return back to Traverse Town to cash them all in for some nice items. There's the sign on top of the entrance that says, "See you soon!" with 2 exclamation points. That's actually kind of ominous, now that I think about it. You can even light the chimney on fire in the shop using fire magic. And there's the Trinities that also encourage you to come back and unlock new areas of the map. It's pretty rare nowadays in Kingdom Hearts to see this kind of integration with you as a character, as in, as your abilities grow and as you progress through the journey, Traverse Town also gets more connected and expands a bit. And did you know that this is the only place in Kingdom Hearts 1 that you can actually buy and synthesize items? You bet, buddy, I will. Also, it's the only place you can do this! Haha, he can't reach me. Oh, shoot! Basically, Traverse Town's got it all. With all that in mind, it makes me a bit upset that we don't get to see Traverse Town all that much anymore. We did get to see a nice rendition of it in KH3D, but in that iteration of the world, it feels kinda soulless. But hey, we did get the Tui characters, so you can also chalk that in as another win for Traverse Town. But I'm sad we didn't get to see it in HD in KH Triple Ballin'. I guess some elements of the town in 2.8 look similar to Traverse Town, but I'm not too sure how intentional that might have been. And that's where I'd leave that point. If some modders hadn't already recreated Traverse Town in the new engine, well, currently it's only the first district, but man, is it looking sweet as heck. Hey, editing Attaboy here. Because I'm so bad at time management, this video has taken a lot longer to come out than I expected, and actually, the Traverse Town Kingdom Hearts 3 mod has actually had some updates since I've written the script. It's now the Beta 2 release, and it has the first district and the third district, alongside stuff like Merlin's cave entrance, and enemy AI has been spawned in. There's also minigames and Dive to the Heart. Oh man, this mod's incredible. Shout out to S'mores, links in the description, but this mod looks fantastic. So check it out when you guys got the chance. It's even got the fire door. That actually works. Huge props to the modder behind this ambitious project, and I can't wait for more updates. That being said, seeing Traverse Town render lovingly in the new KH style really got me wishing the whole world would return in some way or form. But honestly, I kind of doubt it. With the new direction Kingdom Hearts is taking, it looks like the new Shibuya world will sort of function as Traverse Town once did, like a hub world of sorts. Maybe it will even have similar types of environmental puzzles or progression-locked areas, but who knows really. It kind of makes me sad that we won't likely see Traverse Town ever again, but you know, it's kind of fitting in a way too. Traverse Town is only there when you need it, and it seems like we, as the players who grew up with it, have moved on and don't really need it as much anymore. And so it returns to its default, empty state. Like maybe it's a good thing it isn't around anymore. That means no more souls are trapped in the void, longing to go home. Dang. Even in a meta way, this stage continues to be the best opening level of all time. Kinda melancholy when I put it like that. But you know what isn't melancholy? My channel! Hey, I hope you liked the video. If you're new here, I'm Attaboy, and this is my channel. Subscribe if you like the video or like hearing me talk, and ring that bell so YouTube will tell you when I upload more videos. So what do you guys think is the actual best opening level of all time? Let me know in the comments so we can fight about it and defend our choices. No, seriously though, let me know. I love hearing what you guys have to say. Some of you are crazy creative and funny. Anyways, that's the video. I'll see you guys next time. See ya!